The Israelites, initially, according to God's plan, they were designed, they were designated. God intended them to represent Him. They were supposed to be God's ambassadors. They were the ones to whom God had presented or given His oracles. They were supposed to show, to teach other nations and other people worldwide the requirements of God, who God is. They were supposed, through them, other nations, other people of the world were supposed to learn about the goodness of God, the mercies of God, how love, merciful and gracious God is. They were supposed to learn about the true creator of the world and the plan that God has for each and every human being on earth was supposed to be manifested, supposed to be unfolded and to be presented before the world through the Israelites. And God chose them not because of anything special about them, but because of the covenant that He had made with their forefather Abraham. For God says in Genesis chapter 12, verse 2 to 3, and also Genesis chapter 22, verse 17 to 18, He promises Abraham, He tells him to say, I will bless you and I'll greatly multiply you, and I'll bless you and bless your seed, and through your seed and through you, the whole world is going to be blessed. So God had given the Israelites a mandate. He had given them a work to do, an assignment which they were supposed to accomplish. That is to be the light bearers of God's truth, of God's saving truth, of the requirements of God, of God's faithfulness, God's goodness. They were supposed to be the channels of God's light, of God's truth to all the people everywhere. To illustrate it further, you see, the world today is full of conflicts. There are a lot of problems in the world today. There are a lot of diseases in the world today. The world, in a spiritual aspect, is filled with darkness. There is a lot of waywardness. People no longer want to submit to the will of God. Not all of them, but a lot of people. That is the majority of the people. If you talk, for instance, in the United States of America, there is rebellion, there is great rebellion against God, against the will of God. Not only there, but even in Israel itself, people today, generally, there is aspiration, exhortation for homosexuality, which has even penetrated the church. You've got people protesting against the display of the Ten Commandments in schools, for instance, in the United States of America. You've got people protesting against the presence of the copies of the Bible in the libraries within the United States of America, and people saying this should be removed from the libraries of the United States of America. You've got people saying the Bible contains hate speech, and there's just so much immorality which is happening in the world today. So the mandate, the work, the task that God had initially given to Israel, when He took them as a special people, blessed them, and promised to be their God, and got them as His own people, He promised them that He was going to be with them, was going to bless them, and goodness and mercy were going to be their portion as long as they remained loyal and faithful to God. So, if the Israelites were to keep by God's word, they were supposed to be the moral teachers of the world. They were supposed to be teaching the world, illustrating before the world the desire and the will of God. And from them, the whole world was supposed to copy, to learn how to live in peace, how to love each other, how to act in a godly way and in a godly manner, how to take care of each other, and to fear God, to honor Him, to lift up God, to worship God as the only true God. That was the mandate that was initially given to God. But in the state in which the Israelites are right now, they have been fighting wars over territory, over Palestine, over ownership of Palestine. They have been fighting wars for a long period of time. Efforts have been made to reach a resolution, a lasting solution that would provide peace for both the Palestinians and the Israelites. That has failed. There is an exhibition of defiance and consistent cruelty and a show of aggression towards each other. The, the Palestinians have been pleading and have been negotiating and aspiring, asking for a creation and acceptance of a creation of their own state in which they can live at liberty and enjoy freedom. But that has been denied of them by the occupying forces of the Israelites who have occupied Gaza, West Bank, and other portions of places that were originally claimed and occupied by the Palestinians as their own land. In short, the Palestinians have been denied a place to dwell in, whilst the Israelites continue to besiege them, continue to exercise a prison kind of control over the Israelites and their their rights to movement, association, and work and living a free life as a people has been denied of them. And there is no nation, not even the UNO, has done anything significant to resolve that or to ensure that Israel abides and allows the Palestinians to enjoy freedom and live as an independent people and state. They have been living under a military blockade for centuries now. Sorry, not for centuries, but for decades now. They've been living like that from as far as 1967. They have been living under hostile environment. They have been living under the hostage of the Israeli defense forces. Life has been hard because everything is under control. They are controlled by the Israeli military forces, and then who are supported and backed by the United States of America, Europe, and probably other nations. They have continued to sustain the inhuman treatment of the Palestinians whilst they proclaim to be peacemakers, promoters and propagators of liberties, freedom, and peace. They have, on the other hand, for decades supported and sustained the hostile besieging and affliction of the Palestinians, which is not fair, which is not good, which is outright hypocrisy, and that is not right. You see, God designed that the Israelites must be a model, an illustration of His love and grace. But that mandate, the Israelites have failed. It's something that they should have done. It's something that they should do. It's something that they can do. But they are not willing to do it. The reasons as for why they are not willing to do that are not well known, but because it's simply accepting and allowing the Palestinians to live along with them, to share that territory, so that they live in peace on the other side. They also live in peace on the other side. But they have refused to accommodate the Palestinians and allow them to have part of the land of Palestine, share part of the land of Palestine to be a home for the Palestinians, or the other part also becomes a home for them. The God of love, the God who is gracious and merciful, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the one who created the Israelites, the Palestinians, and all of us, is not happy about that. And it is not His desire that such continues to be the situation. God is not happy and is not pleased when we mistreat each other, when we treat others with cruelty, with violence, and kill each other. God is not happy about that. He is not happy even in this situation in which the Israelites have been living with the Palestinians.